how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today we're checking out some new hotness from Kansept. This is the Cassowary, and I believe that this was released about a month ago as of the recording of this video. And I'm excited. I actually reached out to Kansept and I said, hey, the Cassowary looks really cool and I would love to check it out. So they sent it my way, and here we are. I've had this in my possession now for a few days, and I've got to say, guys, ultimately, I'm impressed. Let's talk about why. And by the way, if you do decide that you want to pick one of these up, I will make sure to link it in the description down below. But let's talk about what does it cost and what do you get? Well, the overall length is about 6.7 inches overall with a 2.9 inch blade. Being under that 3-inch mark means that any state or city that you're in that has a 3-inch caari law where you cannot exceed 3 inches, this is going to be legal in those areas. I know that some of you do actually ignore those laws anyways, but for everyone that is following the rules, this will do just fine. The handle scales are these beautifully chamfered and contoured titanium handle scales. It has all of the accoutrements because it also has a 3D milled titanium backspacer, which is slightly geared here at the back. And it also has a really well done chamfered and contoured 3D milled titanium pocket clip. It's not completely deep caari. 3D milled pocket clips rarely are. You'll have about that much sticking out of your pocket because that's where the clip ends. So you might be wondering, okay, S35VN, titanium, all the fixings, what does it cost? Wait for it. It costs $149. That is an insanely good value considering everything that you get here. Hear me out. If you were to get this level of contouring and chamfering and milling out of an American-made knife, you'd easily spend somewhere in the realm of $400 to $600 easily, and in some cases even more. So given that you get all of these great things for $149, that's why I'm saying that it's a great value. Is it for you? You know what? We'll have to find out. So you might be wondering, it's 6.7 inches long. Does it fit in your hands? Yes, it does. I actually get a full 4-finger grip behind the flipper tab, and you could trigger pull it a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily suggest it. I have medium to large size men's hands, and that is to say that I actually have the average size hand for men here in the United States. Indexing on this is good. The balance is really good. So I have no complaints there. It is a frame lock, and on that lockup, we're seeing somewhere in the realm of about 40%, which means that it's locked up and locked out like a bank vault. It's running on ceramic bearings, so that action is nice and smooth. The blade centering itself is dead center, so no issues there. And we have a generous swedge here at the top of the blade, which is going to offer some great cutting relief. I'm going to go ahead and pop my cut test with this knife on the screen. I went through some double-walled cardboard just to see if that swedge actually did make a difference, because without it, I would anticipate that this wouldn't have the greatest cutting geometry. But I was surprised. It actually slipped through the cardboard really well. I did not sharpen this knife beforehand. I did not strop it. That is the factory edge, and it's blowing through the cardboard pretty well. Is it a box destroyer 9000? No, but it's also not going to give you that much resistance when you go to break down your wife's latest Amazon box. So with that being said, I was impressed with the cutting performance. I think that it did great, and it's still sharp after cutting up that piece of cardboard. Something I think is really cool is this pivot. This pivot reminds me of the kind of pivot you get on a Spyderco McBee. I don't know what to call that. It's not single-sided. It is double-sided, and it is not captive. That is one of the few things that I dislike. But aesthetically speaking, that is gorgeous. Now, you can get this knife in a couple different finishes. So, for example, you can get it in black with gold hardware, which I think is really cool, and it's kind of like a black stonewash. You can also get it with the Damascus blade, which is cool. And I know that they're coming out with some that have different designs and different materials on the handle scales. So they're going to have options for everybody, even if this one isn't specifically your jam. For me, I love the plain titanium with this stonewash finish. Kansept is doing such a great job on that stonewash. That is some of the most consistent looking stonewash that I have seen recently, and I'm a big fan of that. It does have this aesthetics only fuller here in the middle of the blade, but it reminds me that I do kind of wish that we had a thumb stud here. A thumb stud would have been perfect. You could have lined your thumb up right there and gotten some extra leverage for deployment. Not to say that the flipper is bad, but it is a flipper only knife. And whenever you have a single deployment option, it's got to be the showstopper. So the question you might be asking yourself is, well, is it the showstopper? The action is really good. It's because it's running on the ceramic bearings. It's a very smooth action. There's no grinding. It feels very premium. Just like we have with these handle scales that are perfectly contoured and chamfered, the action feels really good on that flipper. So if you're into flipper knives, this might be one that you want to check out. Of course, that's a decision that you have to make for yourself. $150 is one of those price ranges where you don't typically get this mix of herbs and spices. You know, typically you get a lot of G10 or micarta. So to get a full titanium build with this level of detail and the level of fit and finish that Kansept is providing is one of the reasons why I think that this knife is a really good deal. But I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. For $149, is it priced right? Is it too expensive, or is it honestly a really good deal? Are you looking to pick one of these up? If not, why not? And by the way, if you want to watch more awesome knife and EDC content, make sure to click on one of the videos that pops up next.